Hello and welcome back to Big Trouble in Little Podcast. I am Andy.
I'm Chaz.
I'm Dubs.
I'm Zach.
Oh, nailed it. That's it. We're on our way. Joe Rogan, watch out.
We're
I just
professional
decided I'm going to go last every time. That'll
There
fix
you go. That makes sense. This is episode 313, the final episode of Black History Month. We are talking about the Jordan Peele movie Nope from 2022. Zach, this was your pick. Why'd you pick Nope?
Nope.
No.
No, I picked Nope because it's awesome, and I don't know, it's such a unique movie. Like,
yeah.
It makes you think like, oh, what is this? Some kind of weird family drama thing with like a UFO thing, and then it turns into something else.
It's like a horror, but then it's a sci-fi, but then it's an action movie, but then it's a Western.
Yeah, there's like little horror elements in it. Like strange stuff in there. But yeah, it's just this really cool, interesting, unique movie that I like a lot.
Unfortunately, we have all seen the movie before bringing it to the podcast, right? All four of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my fourth time seeing it.
All right. It's just second for me. Yeah. First time I saw that was in theaters. Seeing this movie in theaters rocked.
Oh, I bet this movie was kick-ass in theaters.
It really was. Like all the stuff, like at night when it's raining and stuff, like the sound system in the theater is really cool, and the lighting's like extra, like you can see it in the rain and stuff. And I don't know, it was really cool. When I was rewatching it, I was thinking, man, this movie was really cool in the theater. This isn't as good, but something interesting about this movie that we can all discuss is I really think it's interesting to watch this movie a second time, because once you know the ending, it's more rewarding throughout the movie. There's lots of like interesting foreshadowing, and there's lots of like when you know what's going on, you catch stuff differently than when it's a mystery.
Yeah, because this movie does something cool that Jordan Peele tends to do in his movies. Is there's definitely like a sub theme within this movie of what is the cost of being famous, right? What will you do to chase being successful or famous? And I mean, ultimately, they end up, risking their lives to maybe getting eaten by an alien monstrosity.
Gotta get that Oprah shot.
Yeah, you could get the Oprah shot, right? But it even plays with that, like right from the very beginning, you get the whole thing with Gordy and that backstory that, isn't even with the main character. It's with this minor character that's involved, but it just plays further into that whole thing of, yeah, this person should have just been completely fucked up and traumatized, but because he still just wanted to be famous and still do what he's doing, in a way, like, he just kind of suppressed that shit because
he suppresses it and like copes hard. Like I like when they're like, "What happened for real?" and he just describes a Saturday Night Live skit. Like that's his brain like sidestepping that trauma.
Yeah, because he's like, it was legendary, and then it does that like quick pan shot to him as a child, like freaked out. It's trippy how he just takes that in.
That scenery's zoned out, sitting on his desk. It's like before he's going to go outside and do that little skit thing where all they get to see like the horse and then the alien's supposed to come or whatever. He's just like zoning out for like a solid 15 seconds. It's like just him after like remembering all that stuff.
I'm actually happy like he got more roles because everybody knows him as Glenn from The Walking Dead, and he's a phenomenal actor. So he's very versatile as far as doing other films.
I like him. I haven't really seen him in anything but this, but he's great in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was another movie. This is like back when I remember it because of the political message, when Stop Asian Hate, and then they came out like an Asian movie, like with all Asian actors.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he's in that one, and it was pretty good. I liked it. I don't remember it that well.
Speaking of great actors who are not in this movie enough, which seems to be a theme of the month, Keith David is in this movie very briefly.
Yeah, this movie, the month actually is Keith David cameo month. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. We love this Keith David.
Stealth Keith David month.
Yeah, I saw this, and after I saw him, I was like, man, he's not in this movie anymore after like the first 5 minutes, and I wish he was in it more.
Like, there's a few parts where they use his voice, but that's it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because his character is killed off before the opening credits that announce Keith David is in the movie, which is really interesting to me.
So
get just enough.
I have a question for Zach because I know he had some, I wouldn't say like negative things, but he's just like put off on some Jordan Peele stuff. So would you say this is his best film out of all the films that you've seen?
Yeah, by far.
Okay.
By a wide margin for me, at least. Like Us was pretty cool. That one was pretty good, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should watch Get Out again, but yeah, I like Nope the most by like a pretty wide margin. And what's crazy is when you look online, there's people that don't like it at all, or say it's like boring or something. I'm like,
I don't understand that at all. Like I'm with you. Like Nope is my favorite by a country mile, and then like I do like Us and I do like Get Out. Like I don't hate any of his 3 movies, but like Nope I love this movie.
Do you think that has to do with this? I don't know. Maybe I'm playing devil's advocate to the internet, but do you think that has to do with the fact that it's easier, or people find it easier to have one polarizing opinion about a movie if it has a hot button issue within it? Like
Possibly.
those other movies, like Get Out especially, very clearly a race-driven movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
this
not.
movie's not driven by some other political thing. This movie's all about fame.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it's not in the spotlight, but there's still an underlining of like, race, how race plays into fame in Hollywood. Like, because they even talk about the very first screen actor in the short about the on the horse is a black man, and they point that out right at the beginning of the movie. And then that's always like kind of the underlying. It's in there, is what I'm trying to say.
mm-hmm.
I think it's a mixture.
It's not in the spotlight, but it's there.
I think it's a mixture. I think it's the dumb racist people that are just like, I'm tired of hearing about these blacks and all that stuff, and then you have the people that see the marketing and they're like, oh, it's a fucking UFO film, and then they find out like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's not even a UFO.
Well, do you remember when this movie first came out? It wasn't clear it was a UFO movie.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I think
All the marketing was just like a night sky with clouds in it, and it was just, it's a horror movie, and all of the posters were OJ, his sister, Angel, and the director like looking up at the sky, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, I went to go see this movie in theaters just based on the strength of like, well, this was pretty cool, and I need to go see a movie, and like I had no idea that there was going to be a UFO in this movie.
I felt like the advertising for this movie was, this is another Jordan Peele movie, and he had been successful previously, so you thought you were getting something else like those films,
right?
Again,
I think maybe that's what put people off, is they wanted those films again, and they got Nope.
Yeah, they wanted a film that was maybe a genre-based movie, a thriller or a horror movie that then had heavy tie-ins to current political climate within the U.S. Like, I think that's what people wanted,
right?
And they didn't get it, and that made people dissatisfied.
He just made like a good-ass movie. Like, it didn't have to be
like
into that stuff. Yeah.
Take things, because we all have layers, right? Jordan Peele is very clearly good at his craft and is also a black man.
Yeah,
but also, he is someone who has expressed that he loves cinema. Like, the guy has a love for it, and this is kind of his love letter to that too. Like, there's so many great
interview, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's so many great nods to filmmaking in general in this movie.
Yeah, all the posters like in their house and stuff.
Yeah, and like the fact that, again, my favorite part of this movie is that there's just this very subtle. At least I think it's subtle. Maybe it's not because they're literally black ranchers, but I think there's this subtle thing of it suddenly becoming a Western revenge story, because they never let OJ kind of really take over. He's a fairly stoic person and kind of just goes with things. But watching it a second time, I felt like I could see more, because like you said, it's rewarding to know what happens.
Yeah.
OJ is literally, he's not driven by the whole I'm going to be famous or successful. Like, in my mind, he wants revenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's driven by. He's driven by, no, my dad worked hard for everything here. You literally took it from him when he was going to do something more. And now I'm left with all of this. I'm going to figure out what really happened to him. I think it's that, like, in my opinion. And I love that it turns into a Western at the end. That's just great.
I've said this on the show before, but I'll repeat it. this movie has one of my favorite final shots of any movie ever made.
Oh my god, the fucking where he's standing there and on the horse.
And that's what's so interesting to your point is like his sister kind of like is the one who gets the shot at the end. Like that's the big triumphant moment. But then it shows him on that horse and you can't help but be like, yeah, he saved the day. He's the man.
That's the
and he does like Scorpion King. It's time to be famous. What? I love that part. But yeah, like I mean, he still does lots of heroic stuff, but it doesn't seem to be as motivated, like you say, as what everyone else is doing.
Well, again, another thing that pushes this is that everyone else initially is like, yeah, we got to see what this is. Like, we might be catching, this must be history. Like, we want to be a part of this. They'll never take this from us. And then when everyone's ready to bow out, when blood's pouring on the fucking house and shit, he's like, no, I got shit to do. Like, nothing's changed for him. It's the same shit, different day. Like, he's still ready to do all the same stuff he has to do because it was never about that for him.
He's an excellent protagonist. Like, he's a character that's so likable. I like him the whole time, and I really identify with his attitude toward many things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I identified as the Geek Squad guy from Fry's because
Angel.
I used to like work there, and I'm like, and I believed in UFOs and capturing that shit. So I was like, man, that's me right there. I do want to like, this is a total nod to Jaws, right? This movie, because they're trying to capture the shot just like how they tried to capture the shark, essentially.
Sure, I can see that.
Make that argument, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, Jordan Peele is all about cinema.
They even have a gravelly voiced expert come aid them.
That's who I identified with, that guy.
Oh, the director? I love that character.
Antlers, yeah.
I think he's barely my favorite character over OJ. He's so interesting. And I love that at the end he's like, that was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. Like, listen, gets himself killed to get a cool shot.
What a boss.
But he's got an interesting voice and an interesting face and an interesting demeanor. It's just like a character who was designed to be interesting through and through. He's like this weird Werner Herzog eccentric weird guy. I love it.
The American version, yeah. That dude needs his own movie series. I don't know.
I think what I really like about this film is that there's like other plots, like weird plots that are happening in this movie, like the Jupiter, the
Jupiter's claim.
Yeah, like he puts the horse dead because he's trying to attract that they call the jean jacket. I think is what they
end up calling it. Yeah,
jean jacket, great name.
Yeah. And then you had this TMZ dude on a motorcycle with this fucking mirror like helmet. I'm like, it's so odd and so out of place.
That scene is shot so well though, because the first time I saw it, and everyone I've talked to has mostly agreed with me. The first time you see the movie and this mysterious guy you're like, oh, it's like MIB or like a government thing, and then he's like pulling out cameras, and it's like, oh, he's a paparazzi. Like, it's such a weird take the piss moment. I love it.
Yeah, they make you think it's going to be like the government coming in to like take the claim.
Serious.
No, it's fucking TMZ, and they're actually more pissed that they're like, no, it's fucking TMZ. No, not them. No.
What's amazing about that too is the way that he frames all that and like the score and everything. It makes it like kind of unnerving when you first see that guy. Yeah. And he doesn't say anything, and he's talking like, what are you doing here or whatever. He says something that's like kind of like vague, and then he pulls out the camera and starts acting like stupid paparazzi, like you're saying.
Yeah, so how long have things been happening out here in Aqua Dulce? Like, he starts asking all these dumb questions.
Yeah.
Like, his character's interesting too, because almost nearly every character gives off some weird thing about how, like, to them, what that cost or that line is of being successful or famous. Like, that guy's laying there literally about to die. His fucking legs are broken. Can't move it. He's like, where's my camera? I need my camera. I need to find it. He does not care.
Yeah, that really drives it home.
It does. OJ's like, I'm trying to fucking help you. And then the guy just will not help because he's too busy trying to find his camera to get the shot. And OJ's like, sorry, bro, my bad. And he just leaves him to fucking die because he did it to himself.
All right, that's all I can do.
Now, is there a connection with this helmet to the little mirror ball that happened in the beginning with the horse, essentially?
I don't know. I kind of wondered that too. Like, I think in a way, he's kind of fucked, right? Because of that mirror ball on his head or something.
Mhm.
Like,
totally attract the thing to him. Yeah.
yeah, like the first, I was waiting for like OJ to be like, you got to get that helmet off and like to throw it or something. But no, it never comes to that. The guy's just too stupid.
Mm-hmm. And what's up with that shoe on the set? Like it's just standing up.
Standing
like
up, no idea.
I love it.
I think it's just there to be creepy.
That.
Yeah,
Just one.
And
of
then
those
he's got it
weird-
framed.
I know it's awesome.
yeah. That's the cool part is you see it framed subtly. You know, as you mentioned, and then later is when they show you the scene, like the more extended scene of what happens there with the fucking monkey, and it's just sitting upright, and it's like that's the thing that stands out the most in the room of all the things. It's a shoe standing right up in this fucking bloodbath, right? It's just so weird.
Mhm.
Fucking, and all it took was for a fucking balloon to pop, right? Balloon
Was
pops,
the-
that monkey goes ape shit.
Was it the balloon popping, or was Jean Jacket flying around and he made the monkey go crazy? See, 'cause I thought that too the second time I watched it. I was like, I wonder if it was flying around and it caused the monkey. Well, there wasn't a power outage, Joe, so I guess not.
No.
Yeah, no, I think it was more of an isolated thing of.
Yeah.
I think that was the other sub lesson. Like, is we try to tame animals.
Yeah,
in a way
that's. I mean,
for
that's
comfort
one of the, I think
entertainment.
that's one of the major themes of the movie is like the
Yeah.
nature of like a wild animal, horses, aliens, apes, whatever.
Yeah. There is again like. At the end of the day, we can call it an alien or whatever. It's an animal, like in terms of what it's a predator. It's what it's being treated as. And instead of avoiding it or getting away, like they could just fucking leave town, right? Like the obvious easy answer is, oh, I just leave and it won't kill me. No, they're like, no, let's figure out how we can use this to be famous. Like that's kind of the same thing as, oh yeah, we'll train this animal that could just kill us if it ever wanted to. But we'll make it, you know, into a sitcom character, and it'll hang out with us. This will be great.
Yeah, they're
the
all
same thing.
they're all trying to be a spectacle in a way. Like the prize guy is trying to be like this guy who's like, I found a UFO, look at me. And then you have the sisters, like literally a TikTok star. And then you have, you know, Juniper, you know, trying to capture his child, you know, fame essentially in a way.
What a weird arc Jupiter has, and the way it ends. It's just like, what did he think was going to happen?
I don't know.
Like, was there like a gimmick? Like he says he saw it and he swears on his wife and children or whatever. So he probably did see it, but I don't know. It's so hard to get into his head and realize what was supposed to happen there.
I don't know how much of his. I don't know how much of his shit is just warped. And at first, whatever happened to him, he, you know, they all make associations based on what they see, right?
Mhm.
Like he makes assumptions on, oh, well, this is what's going to happen because this is what I've seen or experienced, not knowing what's actually going on. So I feel like part of it's just that he just guesses very incorrectly on what he's expecting to get from this thing. But it's warped enough that it's like, oh, this is my meal ticket. This is my way to get back into get my skin in the game again, right? Like that's, in my opinion, that's what I'm thinking is at that point he doesn't care. He'll just use it as an attraction.
Or maybe he wanted a fist bump from Jean Jacket, just like Gordy.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
Mhm.
no
He didn't get
fist to
that.
bump though. You bump his body.
he doesn't know. He thinks there's little green men.
I don't know. Jean Jacket like did like some fucking weird shit with the fabric and stuff. So maybe he could like make an arm, go like, meh. There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though is like you said, like at that point he doesn't know it's an animal. He thinks it's a ship full of little men that are going to come
That's
down
true.
and
Yeah, I guess he never really saw it.
How
Yeah.
cool is the design of the alien of Jean Jacket? Like, it's just a flying saucer, right? But then at the end, it becomes this big wild, like, I guess it's inspired by like insects and birds that like put up feathers or whatever or wings and stuff to be intimidating. And man, it's like it looks really cool, but it's also terrifying.
Yeah, it looks like an eyeball at the same time too. That's always
Yeah.
watching you.
I was also thinking of stingray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
that's
too.
true.
Yeah, very much like a stingray that just can fly, but then all of a sudden, like, and then it turns into what it does, and it's like, oh, that's very different, right?
It evolved. It ate enough to evolve. That's what happened.
You know what my favorite shot is when he's running away from Jean Jacket, and there's a overhead shot where the thing is above his head. It kind of looks like a big cowboy hat as he's like riding the the horse and stuff. I was like, that's a cool ass shot.
A lot of great shots in this movie.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, the shot where you first get to really see I think it's when he goes to find out what happens, and he's waiting around the corner, and it's the camera's like pinned behind him, like over the shoulder point of view, and then it just starts to pan out and look and through the sky, and it's just following in motion, and you just see these scattered bits of the thing moving, and you still don't know what you're seeing. I think that's, especially as it being an introduction of what you're actually dealing with, fucking awesome. And then of course the scene with the house, that's fucking wild. Because what's funny about it is it turns out to be this horror thing, but the reality of it is the thing has indigestion and gets mad at them and decides to spit it back out at them out of spite, which shows it's also got some form of intelligence.
Yeah,
I thought it was just stalking them. I thought it's just a creature and it knows maybe there's prey here, maybe.
Yeah, it could be it too. But yeah, they clearly knew something was going on with that house related to where it went. But yeah, also the music in this movie, the choices of music are great. I like that scene, and around that scene when they're playing Sunglasses at Night, but it's like warped, like slowed down.
That's really cool, yeah.
It's fucking creepy. It is really cool.
I like when OJ punches the little alien kids.
Yeah, that is fun.
He punched the shit out of that kid.
Yeah,
That part's scary the first time you see it. Like, that scene like creeped me the fuck out when the first time I saw this movie.
Yeah, because you don't get a clear look at him until that one's hanging upside down and he punches it in the face.
I had flashbacks of Silent Hill, like the first part where those midget monsters come chase after you. And I'm
like
like,
the children monsters with the knives. Yeah,
yeah. I was like, fuck, goddamn it, PTSD.
No, they do a really good. It reminds me of that shot I always talk about in The Thing that I like, but where he knows it's behind that behind the fence, so he has his phone out, and it just focuses on that corner for an unbearably long amount of time.
yeah.
Like you're waiting, and then you finally see a little bit of it starting to peek around, and it is so suspenseful and so scary. And then the camera changes, and the one's upside down. Oh my god!
Would you guys like to see Jordan Peele dabble more into what he did in Nope?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see more. Honestly, like seeing this movie and hearing what Jordan Peele had to say about making this movie, I'm confident that I wish a studio would just give him a bunch of money and say, "Hey, make a movie." Yeah. I think he could be trusted to do the right thing, which would be make a great movie.
Well,
Yeah.
Isn't he doing that thing with Kojima?
They know each other. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna be a prepper that I have to deliver to in Death Stranding 2.
Probably.
I mean, it would just be great. I agree. Like, just give him money and say, here, no expense, like spare no expense,
Write
whatever
him a
you
blank
want,
check. Yeah.
do whatever you want, and no time crunch. Like, we want to see what you come up with. Just do it.
Yeah, I have faith. I think he could make something great.
Yeah, I agree.
I have nothing else to say because
I mean, we've been jerking this movie off since we went live. Like, is there anything bad about this movie? Is there something you could improve? There's something you didn't like?
More Keith David.
Yeah, more Keith David would have been pretty sweet.
Some more flashbacks, maybe. You know.
maybe less of the sister, probably.
I thought that at first, but the second viewing, like, I kind of liked her more than ever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, she's so annoying.
Yeah, like that's it's perfect.
It's
like she's just what
it is.
Because you can't have a protagonist like OJ without having that other character. Like he's the foil and she's the bombastic comedic one. Like you gotta have both. OJ by himself wouldn't be as interesting. You gotta have something to play off of.
I caught something pretty interesting that time involving like their family. It's like their dad is like they both got the personality of their dad, but they got split. Like elements of it did.
Oh.
Like, she's real bombastic and she's like really good at talking to people and stuff. But he like OJ's like he's just all about his work and he's just like really like kind of a more quiet person.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. It's like literally two halves of him because he was both of those things. He's hardworking, but also when he needed to be the entertainer, like when he shows up at Hollywood, he could do it. Yeah.
Like when she puts in the little VHS like when she's sitting there at the house before the G jacket comes to like vomit all over their house. It shows the video of him doing the spiel that she was doing when she showed up at the commercial shoot.
Right.
He was the same thing, but yeah. Also, I like that scene where like when they're doing that commercial, and then that idiot director says, "Can you tell the horse to turn around?" I don't know why that made me laugh. He's like, what the fuck? You can't talk to it.
Can you tell the horse we're starting?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's no negative to this movie I could think of.
No big one really at all.
No,
Yeah.
I mean tiny little nitpicks maybe, but yeah, this movie's really great. It was very surprising to me when I saw it, and ever since then I've never really stopped thinking about it once in a while. It's a great movie.
It's one of my favorite movies from modern times, I'd say.
Yes, ditto. I think it's my favorite horror movie of the century so far.
It's not my favorite, but it's up there because there's been a lot of great ones.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's been a lot of them, but I touched on that when I typed a review of this for Letterboxd. I touched on the fact that there have been like horror seeing a revival. There's a bunch of extremely good ones, but man, I feel like this one was made for me. Like this is just what I like.
What's cool about right now is where the horror genre has been so good, like the last I don't know 7 years or whatever you want to say. Anybody can say that's my favorite horror movie, and it's like, oh, that's totally valid. You can't really argue against it what anybody else says. They're all good.
Sure.
I will say one other thing. I didn't get to say this. We was talking about like the marketing for this movie. Did you guys ever watch the trailer for this?
I thought I did. I don't recall it specifically.
It played it on Amazon when I was like, I got done watching it. You know how it just auto plays the trailer sometimes. Yeah. The trailer played, and it was like you couldn't really tell what this movie was about, but the way it kind of frames it, it makes it seem like it's almost like a comedy. It's kind of odd.
It does have some funny moments, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like they're there. It's kind of funny, but it's like not really a comedy. It's kind of makes me think like this is Jordan Peele's Big Trouble in Little China, because it's like they didn't know how to market this fucking movie, but it really
that sounds possible. I think it was more of a success, though.
Yeah, I think so.
I just looked at his IMDb. There's no upcoming projects, and that pisses me off. I'm like, he should be doing more director.
That's good in a way. Like, he's not going to make a movie just to make a movie. Like, he doesn't want to just get a paycheck. I think he wants to actually. I mean, this is going to sound really, really douchebag, but I think he just wants to make art instead of just making a paycheck.
Wait, are you sure? I'm looking here. It says he has an untitled fourth film. It's in pre-production. That's coming out in 2026.
Upcoming, untitled fourth.
Okay, I didn't see that part. Never mind.
Horror, mystery, thriller, mystery.
Yeah, apparently it's a entitled fourth film that he's written and directed, and then also it says he helped write the video game OD.
Oh yeah, that's the Kojima one.
Yeah, so apparently he helped with that. So,
but we don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff on that.
Silly Kojima.
Yeah, so
it's an understatement.
Could be anything.
Yeah, I'm guessing we all recommend it based off of all of us jacking it off, right?
No,
yeah. Hugely recommend this movie. Definitely will rewatch in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, 100% there. This movie's great for sure.
Well, you know, at the end of every theme, we have a final ranking time.
Yep.
I guess I'll go first. We chose 15 points as far as doing our personal rankings. So I will start from the bottom to the top. Detroit, I gave 2 points. Fences, I gave 3 points. American Fiction, I gave 4 points. And coming at the top is Nope with 6 points.
Well, I'm going to go next. I swapped the bottom two from you. I put Fences at number 4. I explained, how I felt about that movie, but I just gave it 2 points. Detroit, I gave 3 points. It had some interesting parts, I guess. It's at number 3. I put American Fiction at number 2. I put Nope at number 1, but I gave them both 5 points because I really couldn't decide which one I was going to put at the top. I think at the end of the day, Nope is a more entertaining film, so I kind of gave it the edge. But I'm definitely going to rewatch both of them at some point in the future, and I'm definitely going to recommend them to like everyone in the future. So I don't know, but yeah, they both get 5. I just wanted to demonstrate how close it was for me. Zach, you go next.
I gave Detroit 1 point. I gave Fences 2 points. I gave American Fiction 5 points, and I gave Nope 7 points. I didn't want to leave Fences with 1 point because I did like it a little more than Detroit. So I gotta give it something.
You gotta give it something.
Yeah, and like they weren't bad movies. Well, Detroit's weird. I got a lot of mixed feelings about that movie. But
yeah, I mean,
especially after you posed the question, like, why does this movie get made? And then I magically revealed everybody that made it was white. So
yeah,
it's kind of like weird, right? You know, like. But yeah, American Fiction's great though, and I just like Nope a little bit more just because it appeals to my. I like weird stuff and
I get that
horror and sci-fi elements to it and all that, and all the characters are great, all that stuff.
Chaz, ring them.
All right, number 4, we got Fences, 1 point. Number 3, Detroit, also 1 point. I'll explain why. I think it's important to explain the point difference. I have Nope at 6 points, number 2, and I have American Fiction at number 1, 7 points. I have yet to stop thinking about that movie. I have thought about that movie once every day since I watched it.
It'll do that.
It like recency bias. It's one of my favorite movies right now. Like I've thought about that movie nonstop. It is such a good, like well-made movie and story.
It's just once you get that message that movie's trying to portray, you see it everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing is I've not stopped seeing it, and it's great in a way. But I love that film. Could not recommend it enough. That said, I mean Nope's amazing too. Nope's my favorite Jordan Peele movie so far. And not to say the other ones aren't good. I actually like everything he's done so far. But that said, but yeah, Nope was definitely the best of those that I've seen. And the reason I have my point differential, you know, I actually think Detroit and Fences are fine. Like, I think they're fine movies. And I think Wave's kind of said
the good stuff.
Well, they're well executed, but I think it's like our point system is not we put movies with no points. Like, we don't put bad movies down low. And then, like, you know, we've had plenty of times before where you're just ranking every movie that you rank as a good movie. It's just rank them where you personally like them. And I really feel like the 2 other movies that I have points in, like those movies are just so much better, or I enjoy them so much more. Like that's where they're at. It's not to take away from Detroit or Fences as far as what they are. Like they're still good movies, but yeah, I felt like American Fiction is one of the best movies I've watched in the last year. Period. Like and Nope is easily one of my favorite horror movies. Like it's such an awesome movie. I could go on and on all day about both of them. So it was kind of tough. Like I actually wanted to come into this thinking, I'll put more points in American Fiction and I'm going to bump that up. But like in reality, like they are very close to each other. So I had to like narrow the gap a little bit.
I was the same.
Yeah. But yeah, highly recommend both. And I actually think I would recommend all of them. I specifically because I think Detroit's a movie, and Fences actually, I think both are kind of movies that, like, it's good for people to see, but they're not movies that I want to watch again. Like, I can't wait till I have an excuse to watch American Fiction again. And Nope, I just watched it, but like within a few months, it's like, I want to watch this movie again. This movie kicks ass.
All right. Well, then the final ranking is. It looked like someone already did it for me. Did the math? Is this official?
Yes.
4 is Detroit. 3 is Fences. 2 is American Fiction. 1 is Nope. But again, it looks like 2 and 1 were fairly close. And that's our official ranking for the month of February. Next month is March. What do we call it? March to the beat.
Yeah, March to the
drum
beat,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do Chaz's pick first. What'd you pick?
I picked Whiplash. Oh, I'm so excited to watch this movie again. The last time I watched this film, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, we were trying to pick a theme to go with next. I literally wanted this theme for movies just so I had an excuse to watch Whiplash again.
That's why we did what we did this month, because I wanted to choose American Fiction. So.
Like, I've wanted an excuse to watch Whiplash for such a long time, because I remember the last time I watched it, like, I don't smoke, but I wanted a fucking cigarette after that movie was over. I was so fucking stressed out. But like I don't know. We'll leave it for the discussion that we'll have about it. But it's a movie that when I watched it, then I thought, man, I don't know if I'll ever want to watch that again. But here we are, and I'm dying to. So
It's time. I noticed something about the picks, and I'm not going to spoil the other picks. We're going to do them one at a time like we always do. But I just did want to point out something about the picks that we're going to be watching for March. You guys chose all great movies, like Oscar-winning movies, some of the best performances from these actors ever. I'm changing my pick. I'm not going to choose what I've got on the dock. I'm going to change it to I'm going to change it to what is one of my least favorite movies ever made. Because I got to balance out all this Oscar bait bullshit you guys chose. And we always watch stuff that we love. But I'm going to choose... I think it's my least favorite movie ever made, maybe.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's one of them.
Can we know?
It's in the bottom 10.
Okay.
You won't know until next week when we record Whiplash.
Ooh.
Andy, you never seen Whiplash, right?
No, it's been on the list forever because I really like
What? You've
really
never
like,
watched Whiplash?
what's his name? The main guy in that?
I forgot his name.
Miles Teller. Teller and J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons, that's it. I like J.K. Simmons a lot. And like I've seen the movie spoofed a bunch. I actually just watched The American Dad that spoofs it, but it's Clown College instead of drums.
Okay. That's pretty good though.
Rogers, J.K. Simmons, but he's got like muscles and he's bald and it's stupid.
All right. Well, we're going to go in the post credit scene. I think Zach is having a storm right now, so he's out. At least we got his, pick done, like talking about the movie instead of him being, out middle of his pick, I guess.
Yeah, who gives a fuck what he did this week? I tell you what he didn't do. He didn't come up with some way to secure his internet past a power outage.
If we had a sponsor, we would be doing a sponsor here right now and be like, you could get like, I don't know, Spectrum Fiber or whatever. I don't know. So Andy, you're first in the carousel. What the hell you been watching, playing, or doing?
Nothing interesting. I watched a whole bunch of American Dad, which I already just mentioned. That's just my like wind down, go to sleep show. Who cares? But honestly, I talked about Family Guy a couple months ago, and American Dad is kind of the same thing. Like you go through this journey of like, I really like it because I'm an idiot in college and I drink too much. And then you're like, I'm better than this. And then you come back to it and you're like, why did I stop watching this? This show's hilarious. So that's the journey I've been on with American Dad. I'm trying to get caught up with it. I got seasons and seasons though. But other than that, I played a whole bunch of Yakuza Kiwami 2. I think I'm getting near the end. I'm on chapter 15. I don't know if that means anything to anyone who's listening, but I think I'm near the end because I've wrapped up. There's like a whole bunch of plots, and I've wrapped up like all but 1.5 of them. So I'm pretty sure I'm coming near the end. But even after you beat the game, there's a 3-chapter side story where you play as Goro Majima. So I still got to do that. And then I decided to watch a movie when I wasn't playing Yakuza. So I watched the Yakuza movie from 2007 made by Takashi Miike. And it's not bad. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit. It's pretty fun. It's a fun movie. Honestly, it was clearly made for fans of the game or games because there's a lot of moments in it that's like, oh, that's the thing from the game. Oh, that's just like that's where you go in 1. Oh, that's where that boss fight is. It's full of that stuff, and it's got all the characters in it. So honestly, if you've never played the games, I think it would just be like a subpar action movie. But if you've played the games, there's a lot of like, I described it to someone as the meme where Leonardo DiCaprio is pointing at the screen while holding a beer. It's just that, just nonstop. So I know what that is. But yeah, it's fine. On the other hand, Kiwami 2's been great. I'm excited about it. And usually my policy is if I beat a game from a series, I play something else in between. But I kind of can't wait to go into 3. I ordered a PlayStation Portal, and I plan on playing a bunch of it on that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to go straight into 3. I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that 3 and or 5 can be low points and kind of slogs. So we'll see how I feel about it. But I'm looking forward to it so far. That's it though. Just a bunch of Yakuza for me. Chaz, what have you been doing? Cards? Okay, moving on. Bubs, what have you been doing?
Come on. So actually, I've played a lot of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I am. I mean, I've been doing all of like the side plot things that I can do as they've come about, and I'm in the middle of chapter 5, which there's usually 7 chapters or 8 chapters, so I'm getting there. But the game's been a blast to play. It's very fun. Just forget how much like random witty humor they put in the game, and just funny bits that are in it. But also, there's like some really dark stuff too in that game. Yeah, I don't know. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I finished part 3 of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, which effectively was just a teaser to set up the last part that they're about to do for it. So it wasn't a whole lot of anything. I mean, it was fine, but like nothing like crazy happened. I guess nothing I didn't expect. I've been watching some Dark Side of the Ring as I've been like just doing random BS. I think I talked about that last week. And, I'm currently like in the middle of season 2. No, actually, I take that back. I just finished season 2 because I finished watching the last episode of season 2 with Owen Hart. So I'm done with that. My wife and I are finally on the last season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's really depressing because the show went from a tone of being kind of funny to, oh, we should like attack all these really serious issues because COVID just happened. And it's very strangely like depressing.
Is it entertaining still? Like you're still liking it?
Yeah, the very first episode was really heavy, and not so much. But we watched the next 2, and the next 2 were pretty funny. So it's still worth watching. It's like that first episode really went hard into the COVID and like police brutality stuff, and then they went, now we're back. It's like they're back on track with other nonsense. But
all right.
I played in Oricana Set Championship, and this is the second one I've gotten to play in now. And I finished top seed after Swiss rounds were over, and then immediately lost my next round, which in elimination stuff. So I got 5th place. I lost to a little girl. I feel like I was put in my
if you're
place.
gonna lose to someone, it might as well be something that's funny like that.
Yeah, lost to a little girl who then proceeded to lose to one of the guys I was with, and he ended up like winning the whole thing, and it was really funny. But yeah, and then Pokemon, I've not really done anything, but I have made a sad decision, but just for a couple other reasons. I'm selling a pretty big portion of my collection.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, just downsizing stuff because.
Is it any of your like complete retro sets, or are you hanging on to that stuff?
No, all the vintage stuff is staying, and all my like really old like original promos. Selling all the modernish stuff. The only things I'm not selling from the modern stuff is I'm holding on to a handful of like the really like hard to find rare like Pikachu promo things, and then I'm holding on to all of my Eevee stuff. So I mean that makes sense because my kid.
Oh yeah, because that was your thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing that started the collection. But that does also mean I'm keeping like my Moonbryon and all my Evolution like art cards, but I'm selling all the other stuff. I'm actually meeting with someone tomorrow. I don't know how long it's going to take us to go through all of it, but I'm hopefully he'll be like, "Hey, would you like a car?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." But yeah, we'll see.
But make the house for what you're giving.
We'll see. I mean,
right now is the time to sell. The market is up on that shit.
That's the reason I'm wanting to, is because I also expect there to be a bubble, and I'm just done with the rat race of just trying to collect.
The minutia of every single alt art and special art.
I mean, what's funny is I may end up like still trying to eventually get like the Evolution things. Like I actually have some stuff arriving tomorrow. It's those like surprise boxes that are coming out that are supposed to have like special things in them. But I had a couple that I managed to get lucky and pre-order. But like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to go out of my way and spend $2,000 on a single card? No, not really. And I don't really care for it anymore. Like, I'm done. I need this. More importantly, times are tough.
Step away.
I need to have cash saved up in case all hell breaks loose and I need to have money to,
Are you gonna collect Gundam trading cards because they're coming out in July?
Oh, I'm very aware of the Gundam trading cards.
I have no desire to collect any more trading cards. That part is in my mind. I'm done with that. What's funny though is I'm not selling all of my like active stuff. Like the game itself, like Pokemon's a pretty cheap game to play. Like you can just get the cheapest versions of whatever cards and still play. It's all the random bullshit art cards that are expensive and stuff, and they're not half of them aren't even playable. So. Like I can still play the game as much as I want and still keep cheap stuff. So the plan is to just sell all the expensive shit, but I'm still gonna have my decks and stuff to still play, and I'll still occasionally just buy the singles of things I need, and do that and still play when I can. But I mean the focus is definitely to play more Lorcana. I mean that's what I've been doing. But yeah, and there's been some drama related to that, but we don't have to get into any of that on the show. Nobody cares about the drama of card nerds. So. All right, that's all I got though. I've not done much else other than just work a lot, and I drove to Virginia and back.
Well, I drove to Jacksonville and had to build a store.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a card place that I went to because there was like a hobby shop, and I was like, I might buy some Pokemon cards. I went in there, and it was like, I went in there, and I was just like, this is too expensive, and I left.
This is the worst time. Like, I don't know. Everything's gone insane. It looks like it's gonna get worse when Journey Together comes out. Like, I bought a few singles just on eBay, and a couple of them were cards I'd been like eyeballing for a while, and the prices on them like tripled. And I was, God damn it, I can't even like stand to do this anymore. I bought the Japanese version of 2 cards I'd been looking at, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just not buying Pokemon cards for a while.
I've come to the realization that I'm gonna do 3 things. I'm gonna do Gundam when it comes out because it's interesting. Just the game. I'm not caring about like collecting and stuff. I think the game. I watched a video and it seems fun.
I'm gonna get those too.
Yeah, so I might do that. But I might be collecting wrestling cards because wrestling cards are on the rise again. Topps.
Yeah, they are. Topps has been sending me emails about it, and I'm like, I don't fucking care about this stupid shit.
Yeah. And then baseball cards. Baseball. I think me and Andy were talking about it before recording. I'm like, I'm 100% into baseball. Hockey's kind of been pissing me off lately. So not because my team sucks. I just want to make that clear. I just don't like what the league is doing. Everything is like, we need to do record breaking. Look at Ovechkin gonna break Wayne Gretzky record, which is fucking cool. But like, there's other teams, bro. Like, I don't care about McDavid. I don't care about fucking Ovechkin and stuff. Or
get those cards. Get the wrestling cards. Don't worry about that stuff.
Yeah,
so, we'll be sports cards. This is what's fun now. I got baseball cards. I got F1 cards. Watch Big Trouble Rips. These are coming up. They're coming.
Cool.
They're coming.
The new F1 Chrome came out.
Oh, we lost Zach again.
God damn it, he was next.
Yeah.
Now we got to vamp on cards more.
I should have had him fucking talk. Oh wait, no, he's right there. What happened? He's back.
He's back, everybody. Don't you worry.
I don't know what happened.
He got scared. He saw cards. He said, "Oh, this is fucking baseball cards. This is fucking bullshit."
I also brought my Steam Deck with me, and I played more of Blood Omen, and I've come to a realization that I need a walkthrough guide or something.
Yes, you do.
Because I'm lost as fuck.
I used to walk through.
Yeah.
Just do it, man.
I got a question to you guys. There's a place where you go like to this altar, like you walk in this room and it's like sprites of fucking like occultist fucking symbols and shit, and it's all like neon green. And you go to the altar and it says you need to like sacrifice your.
Yeah, you give up your blood and they give you a bunch of items.
Okay, so I did it once and I got no items. Do I got to do it multiple times?
Did you check your items after you did it?
Yeah, there was nothing there.
That's weird. It gives you more. It's probably the throwing stars if you're still early in the game.
All right, I'll double check with that again. I'll do it because when I did it, because I went to the altar first when I had like a little bit of blood, and I died, and I was like, huh. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't know it could kill you.
Well, when you have a little blood, because it takes like a big amount of blood.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
I was always scared to do it unless I was at full health.
Yeah. I did it like multiple times because I thought I was getting items, and I'm like, what the fuck? So it might be the throwing star thing. I still like the mechanics and stuff. I'm just lost, and I'm, I guess, still programmed like a fucking peasant that needs directions and stuff, like today's modern games and stuff.
Quick saves. That's what I wanted. But again, we'll keep all this in our back pockets until we record that. But yeah,
I played a little bit of that. And then I went to my fucking go-to, Link to the Past, because it's something that I like to just play naturally, like breathing air, I guess. I don't know.
I get it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night's that for me. I get it.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I also made a goal that I am going to be playing some Sonic games so I can finally beat him. I've never beat.
This is the year of Sonic. I have other friends that are like, I'm going to beat as many Sonic games as I can this year. I'm like, okay, buddy. I hope you don't turn autistic. More so.
Gotta go fast.
I've only beaten Sonic 1. Never beat 2. Never beat 3.
Get Origins. They're all right there. With all the modern day quality of life contrivances.
Nice. Yeah. I've been watching since I got sick. You know what's fucking funny is like I went to that trip to Jacksonville. Didn't get sick once, but I had one day at my store, and everybody has a fucking whatever flu that's going around, and I got a day one coming back, and I was like, "You motherfuckers!" So while I was having a fever, I was watching a bunch of Andre the Giant fucking clips, and man, Andre the Giant was fucking cool back then. Yeah, and then I watched a bunch of promos. That's why I put like the Dave Schultz showing his gun and stuff. He showed his guns to Vince McMahon, and like completely doing what a gun owner should not do, and point the barrel at somebody. And he's like, "There's no bullets in here," and he fucking fires it, and you hear Vince McMahon go, "You stupid idiot!" It looked like Dave Schultz was about to like shoot at Vince McMahon when he called him a stupid idiot. It was like funny, but yeah, me and I also watched today In Your House 4 because me and Zach are going to be covering it tomorrow. Right. In our recording, and boy, I can't wait to talk about that shit.
Is it good? Should I watch it or should I just
don't watch it?
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
It's such a precarious ledge that I dangle myself from as far as liking wrestling goes.
Spoiler: don't watch it.
Okay, got it.
But other than that, that's all I've done. I can't wait to get back on the fucking gaming grind because I looked at the list. You guys are fucking crazy.
Zach in particular. Honestly, when Zach dropped out earlier, I was really upset because I really want to hear him talk about all the NES games he's been playing.
Okay.
So go.
Okay, so go, yeah. I first got to talk about everything I watched. I went and saw Alice Cooper at Greensboro, North Carolina. He's still
Did he say that school was out for summer?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He also welcomed us to his nightmare.
Sweet.
Talked about Poison. But like, yeah, definitely if you get a chance to see him and you're just like, I like that guy, he's pretty cool, just do it because he's still good. He's still, because the way he sang and stuff, it was like to where it didn't matter how old he was going to get. He basically still sounds the same, more or less.
I just love the opportunity to maybe run into him and be able to drop to my knees and say, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah, he's still great. But, and then I watched some movies. I watched Mate One.
Oh, good.
I should have watched this movie some time ago, and I never did.
How did you watch it?
Internet Archive.
Because I love it. That's how I watched the Yakuza movie. It's on the Internet Archive. Like, why pirate? The Internet Archive is right there.
Yeah, it's what's funny is they had the Criterion version of it, like I guess the Blu-ray, because it was an HD rip.
Nice.
I own Mate One on VHS, but I'm not at my house right now, so I would have just popped it in my VHS and watched it, but I'm here.
Are you going to get the Criterion? Are you going to make good?
Probably. It was a good movie. So that was spoiler alert. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see it for a long time, but it's not streaming anywhere. Well, now
yeah,
it is.
it's tough to watch. I was like, I need to watch this movie because Maywan is like 15 minutes from like my parents' house.
Very West Virginian.
Yes, very West Virginian. And my grandpa was a coal miner and stuff. He got in after the unions formed and shit though already, so he didn't have to go through that bullshit like they did. But maybe his dad probably had to deal with that though. But great movie. It's not available anywhere to watch, unfortunately. You're gonna have to buy a copy of it or watch it on Internet Archive.
Do it.
I watched 2 Insidious movies. I watched the first 2, and I think I watched the 4th one in theaters. Think? Yeah, I was confused because I thought I skipped watching the 3rd one because I had like no memory of it at all. Somehow I missed it, but it's all right. It's pretty good. And I watched The Red Door, which is like the last one that got made. That one is decent. I think they dragged it out a little too far. Like they probably should have stopped while they were ahead. Because that one's like, you're watching it, and given like everything else you see in the other Insidious movies, this one feels like kind of weaker compared to like what you're seeing. Like all the crazy ghosts and shit that you see and stuff like that, you know. It felt like it was more about the family in the first 2 movies than like the ghost shit that like the movies are known for. You know? So it just felt a little weaker than the others. It's not bad though. And then I watched The Northman. That movie fucking rules.
Yeah, it does.
That movie's badass. The ending to that movie is the most ridiculous shit to try to describe to someone.
I love it. I love how it's like what I love. There's a lot of things I love about that movie. What I love most about that movie is it just pretty much embraces like, oh yeah, Norse mythology and like weird magic is real.
Yeah.
Like I guess some people still there was like a debate about whether or not some of that shit was real or not somehow. I don't understand how people could still question it. Because especially it's like when he learns the legend about like, you know, the sword and everything and he goes and gets it. And then it's like the old sage guy told him, like, you can only unsheath the blade when it's night. And he tries and he fails during the day. And then later on, after he gets captured and shit, some other dude tries to... The guy who cuts his nose off in the beginning of the movie, he tries to unsheath the sword and he can't. He tries like several times and it doesn't work. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me that some people watch that movie and I guess they still want to argue. It's like, is this shit in his head or is it really happening? It's like, what?
I was like, were you listening?
Were you like, what are you watching? How are you processing this?
Yeah.
But awesome movie though. I like it a lot. And I think that's everything I watched. Oh, Royal Rumble 2025.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. How'd I forget that? I watched it too.
Because we had to reschedule. We couldn't record Tuesday.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I just forgot to mention it. Yeah. I watched it too. It was okay.
It was an all right Rumble. The Rumble itself was like okay. There's better ones. There's worse ones.
What position won? What entry position? Dubs did that thing where he was like, "Oh,
yeah, we all lost. We all lost."
Well, yeah, but which one won?
I don't know what entry.
I don't know what number Jey Uso was.
Jey Uso, I think, came in around 20.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere like it was either 18 to 22, somewhere in that range. He came in. Yeah, Jey Uso won. Apparently, it made a bunch of internet like Mark crybabies like mad.
People were upset at the result of a wrestling pay-per-view. It's weird.
He was number 20. Just looked it up. I mentioned this in our wrestling chat, and I'll just say it here. I just don't get how anyone is upset about that, because literally all that ever matters. It does not matter how good a wrestler you are. It doesn't matter how good you are at promos. It doesn't matter how what your physique is. None of that shit matters. The number one thing that will get you over and get you the push, it organically at least, outside of other factors, is if you are over with the crowd. And Jey Uso every single time he comes out, gets a huge pop, and everyone starts fucking dancing to his theme. Everyone loves his fucking catchphrase. People buy the fuck out of his merchandise. Like, he is, outside of Cody Rhodes and other, like, just future Hall of Fame wrestlers, like he is literally like the guy. I don't get how people are surprised or upset. Like, that's, if you're upset about it, stop fucking doing his shit whenever you're in the stands. Like, it's like there were people that were literally in there, like 70,000 people in that fucking stadium, just going up and down, like not a seat leaving. Like, they're all excited and jumping up and down, and then they went home or on their way out or like texting, "I can't believe that shit won." And it's like, what?
Are you sure they're all the same people?
No, some of them might be like they're posers. You know, they want. I want to do the yeet shit, and then like God damn it, he never has any good matches.
That's like the type of person that like would like watch something really cool, like, you know, something that everyone's into when you were like 4th grade or something, and they're like, "Did you watch that?" And he's like, "No, that shit's gay." Like, that's that person, but like they're totally into it too.
Actually, this shit fucking sucks, and it's like the coolest thing ever in the background.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. Did you watch the latest episode of Digimon? It's like, no, it's stupid.
But yeah, congrats to him. He has come a ways since just being the dude in the tag team, despite what some people say about him. But I didn't predict that. I didn't think he would have won it. So like, they surprised me.
Mm-hmm. They swerved, bro.
We got swerved, bro, but probably, arguably in a good way, not a bad way. And the women's rumble was It's usually kind of Like, there's only been a couple times it's been pretty exceptional, but you know, Charlotte Flair won that. She came back and won, and that also made internet marks mad because she's awful and she's boring. Which is
boring.
Who won? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
How is Charlotte? How is she boring?
I mean, kudos to her and her big brain, right? Because she comes back like, what, a year ago, instantly wins the title, like on like demand, like takes it from Ronda Rousey, who then like leaves the company completely, and then she gets hurt again and has to leave because she pops a titty or whatever happened, and everyone's like, "Well, I'm glad Charlotte's gone. We want a different face for the women's division." So then she went and got a bunch of plastic surgery, and it's technically a different face.
That's great.
she does not look like the same person. So like, I mean, touche.
Yeah, unfortunately, she has like 4 different faces now. This is her 4th one.
Yeah. Weird. I don't care for that.
Yeah.
She was always one of my favorites when I was trying to like wrestling.
She's still really good. She just has 4 faces.
Okay, that's fine. That's allowed, I guess.
Like Mick Foley.
Yeah, except he was like metaphorically different faces.
He can go back, though.
What were you going to say, Dubs? Why she's boring?
I just don't find her appealing. It's like she's very robot in her promos. Like, I'm the best. Woo! I'm trying to be like my father. Woo!
That's her embracing That's her embracing the natural heat she has for some reason. That like, I
mean, she's just like her father, like divorcing people. So she
got
that going.
Her ass got roasted.
Yeah,
her ass got roasted on the Raw after. Like, man, I think that. I don't know why they keep putting her in that same spot, but it's like, it seems like it's like this vicious cycle that repeats where she goes out there after she comes back and is immediately like either the number 1 contender or has the belt like immediately after coming back, and then everyone's like, "Boo, go away!" and then she stands there with fucking shocked Pikachu face.
Well,
it's like, what did you expect?
She's playing into it though.
Maybe, and that could very well be it. Like, it's fine, whatever. I mean, like, it could have been worse.
That would be like, but yeah, whatever. That's all the wrestling talk. You can hear more wrestling talk tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna talk about Cody's match?
No, he said that's enough wrestling. No.
Oh, Cody killed Kevin Owens. It was amazing.
The Alabama slam on a ladder.
That was fucking great. The ladder match itself was just okay though. I thought. There's too much. There's too much fighting with like a step ladder for some reason. That was strange.
Yeah, they fought with a.
What are you doing, step ladder?
Yeah, I see that reference.
On to the games though. Play a bunch of games. I beat Super Mario Brothers 3.
The best one.
We'll see.
I think it's the best. Well, it's my favorite. It's probably not the best one. I mean, World is technically the better game, but 3 is my favorite. And then 64.
I can understand why people like it so much, I think.
It has so much charm.
It does. And to me, personally, it has a lot of annoyance to its mechanics and shit.
Did you beat it legit, or did you do like some whistles and stuff?
I cheesed it a little bit.
Okay. I mean, that's
because
fair.
I'm playing on the Nintendo Online thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was just this gets into like my biggest complaint about this game. And I think it has more to do with me personally than like it's the game's fault. And that's just because I didn't grow up playing these games at all.
Sure. I didn't really either, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe you might have still put more time into this game than I ever did. Depending on when did you play it first?
I mean, I played it at like a cousin's house when I was a kid, but I never played it more than, half an hour at a time until, I don't know, when I was older.
Yeah, that's what I mean is like, when did you actually sink your teeth in and really play it the first time?
I don't know, maybe college.
Yeah, so.
Because I never, our first console in this house was a Genesis, and then I never had an NES or a Super Nintendo until way, 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 way later. So,
yeah, it was the same deal for me. I knew friends or had relatives that had Nintendo stuff, and I was able to play little bits of it here and there. But I never really got to sit down and play Mario for like hours.
Well, apparently that's the journey you're on, right? You're filling in all those classic gaming holes.
Kind of, yeah. Like specifically with like 8-bit stuff right now, it seems like. Yeah, I had problems playing like some of these older Mario games, like 1 and 3 in particular, because 2 just feels completely different from those, and it's not the real 2. I know all that shit.
No.
But I figured it out when I was playing this game. The thing that fucks me up so much in Mario, 2D Mario, is the momentum in the movement. It throws me off so much. How he doesn't stop fast enough for anything, and he's got like this weird floatiness to like all the jumps and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll constantly misjudge jumps and stuff in that game.
It's something you gotta like program your brain. You gotta get into it. Yeah,
I'm awful at it. What's funny is I played so many other platformers except these. Like these were like the exception. Like did Sonic, did Donkey Kong. I'm pretty good at Donkey Kong. But yeah, I've always just had a problem adjusting to like the momentum in like the old 2D Mario games. Still like it though. After I got done, I was like, "It's a good game." Yeah, it's just personal bias stuff. I don't like it as much as other people do, but I'll acknowledge it's great and shit and like the stuff that it did. Then I played NES golf while I was in the car going to this trip, and I beat it. I played 18
holes. It doesn't take much.
No, you just got to be like, oh, it's super easy. What's fun, it goes back to like what I like about some of these old sports games, like how simple they are. It's like once you learn how to do your swing, which is just press the button and then press the button again to try to get the most power. It's like, that's it. All you got to do is figure out what the clubs do and where the wind's blowing.
I don't want to talk about golf physics. It's a golf minigame in Yakuza, and I suck at it. And there's something you have to ace one of the challenges in order to get like a pretty cool achievement. Well, not an achievement, but something in the story. Like someone wants you to do it, and you want to please this person. And I couldn't do it. I had to move on.
That's unfortunate. Maybe it's just wonky in that game because some golf games are weird, like in how they work. This one's super easy, though. It's like anybody can play this game.
This is one of my favorite gaming trivias. Did you guys know that the 18 holes of golf in the NES Golf are the 18 holes of golf in Wii Sports?
Oh, that's really cool.
I didn't know that.
They remade them all. Yep.
That's awesome.
It's the same course. Like it's all there's like like Woohoo Island is an established place in like the Nintendo universe or whatever, and you've actually been there several times in like Pilot Wings and golf and Wii Sports. It's I don't know. I always thought it was interesting.
That's a neat little like lore thing, like just extra little touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just gonna have to play golf on Wii Sports, I guess.
Yeah.
I also played a little bit NES Open. I haven't really played through it yet. There's more to that game, but it's basically Mario Golf before that's actually a thing because you play as Mario characters.
I've never played that one.
It's got more bells and whistles and it's got music and stuff. Like NES Golf is just like almost like you're playing an Atari game, except better graphics. Then I played Kirby's Adventure and beat it tonight.
Nice.
And that was a great game, and it's like I actually kind of like Kirby a lot now.
I can never quite get into it. I've tried so many Kirby games. I really want to like the SNES one. I think it's 3, but I don't know. It just won't stick.
That's not Superstar, is it? Like there's Dream.
Well, Superstar is like the combination. It's got a bunch of
Yeah.
shit in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just learning like what all these different games are. I accidentally played the second game. I thought I was playing the first one.
Yeah, you'd think NES would become first, but no, Game Boy did, right?
Yeah, the Game Boy was the first game. It was Dreamland.
I have the Game Boy one on my 3DS. It was a downloadable title, and it's okay.
It's kind of like I was saying in a different chat. Like that's before they come up with the copy ability mechanic, which is like kind of what Kirby becomes about later.
Yep.
But the first Kirby's Adventure on NES is pretty cool. It's like I like it because it's kind of you can play it and it's not too sweaty. You know what I mean? It's not like you're playing this game and you're getting pissed off and it's making you mad and it's very adversarial to you.
Fun. It's fun.
It's fun. You can kind of chill and play this game. You could die and shit. Like it's just the right amount of like challenging, depending on. And sometimes you can cheese the game, kind of like when you play Sonic and you're playing as Tails. You can just fly over shit. You can just do that with Kirby a little bit sometimes.
That's fine.
So it's kind of like you're playing it reminds me of that when you play as Tails and Sonic, except you're copying abilities and shit. It's funny. Some of the abilities are completely useless, like sleep. It does nothing. You just fall asleep. You don't get any kind. I thought like maybe you could recover health if you take a nap. No, it doesn't even do that. you just took a shitty ability. But, really cool game. Pretty impressive graphically, but it came out like in '93. That was like the tail end of the NES run. Pretty good music too.
I think it's either the next to last or the second next to last Nintendo published NES game. The very last one is Warriors Woods.
Yeah. Kirby's got this interesting streak though, where it's like they put out the next Kirby game like sometimes at the end of a system's life cycle. I think Kirby Dreamland 3 for SNES was like the last Nintendo published game for the Super Nintendo.
Huh.
And that was kind of surprising. But
you gonna play more Curbs? You curbing up?
Yeah, I like it enough that I'm going to try these other ones. I guess I'm going to go back and play the Game Boy one first, and then continue from there. And then I started playing Legend of Zelda, the old one, the first one.
Hell yeah, I love that game.
And I want to like that game, but now I'm getting to this. This you talk about needing a walkthrough.
Use a walkthrough.
God damn.
Do it.
What sucks is like I gotta find a good one because that's the problem I'm having. I'm not finding good ones.
I mean, I know I'm a weirdo in this. I like to find guides that are as contemporary to the game's release as possible. I like to find GameFAQs or like shitty old GeoCity sites that have walkthroughs. That's my speed. I love that shit. But that's not the best for everyone. But yeah, definitely use a walkthrough on that game. Like if it was 1989 and you were a little kid and this is all you had, yeah, by all means, like, explore and adventure. You're meant to. But no, I ain't got time for that. You're an adult now. Use a walkthrough.
This is a Nintendo Power game through and through, though. Like after I started playing it, I was like, this game. I'm not saying they designed it for that reason, to sell magazines, but it kind of just so happens to be that kind of game.
I think it predates Nintendo Power.
86?
Yeah, because Nintendo Power came out right around when Super Mario Brothers 2 came out.
When did that come out? 87?
I'm not sure. I might be talking out of my ass. I'm not as good on NES history.
Somebody look up when Nintendo Power came out. But anyway, I need a walkthrough with pictures. That's the problem I'm having because I'm looking at like GameFAQs.
What about like IGN? They always have that shit.
Yeah, I might need to try the IGN guide. I think Because it's like, at first I was like, I'm going to try to just play it raw. Like, I'm not going to do anything. And I'm like, I started getting lost and I don't know where the fuck to go. And it's just the right amount of being old where it doesn't give you enough breadcrumbs for you to be able to tell where you're supposed to go. And
it's supposed to be an adventure. You're supposed to like stumble around and learn little things. But yeah,
that's cool and everything.
What you should do is you should play that game and then you should go immediately to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is the NES Zelda. It's the exact same spirit. It's just made to the standards of 2017 or whenever that game came out. Breath of the Wild is the NES Zelda. Nintendo said that themselves, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's supposed to be that spirit. It's the spirit of, here's a big open world. Good luck, I guess. Find some stuff, maybe.
I've heard that. That appealed to me. Maybe that one will appeal to me more right away. But it's either that or I'm just going to go straight to Link to the Past after this.
I mean, yeah, that game rules too. So
because that's just like, okay, we did it this time, but it's better.
Whatever you do, don't play Ocarina of Time.
No.
Yet.
You can't tell me what to do.
Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me.
I'll save it. I doubt I'm going to play a bunch of these before I get there.
Are you still going to play Zelda too?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try it.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
I could never... That's another one of those games. It's like, I've tried it several times. It's not really for me. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Here's a pop quiz since Andy brought up GeoCities and my autistic brain just fucking went off. When did GeoCities die? What year?
2006.
Oh, it's even like closer.
It was like 2013?
2019. March 2019 is when they shut down.
God.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it.
Just for the record, Nintendo Power came out in 1988.
There you go.
He took it from. I looked it up. I was like, I'm ready. I was chomping at the bit.
He was ready.
July.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought it came after. Yeah. I think it was birthed out of that necessity though, because there were games like Metroid and Legend of Zelda, and people were like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Nintendo was like, oh, we can make money off this.
If I really wanted to get down to the nitty gritty to it, I could just sit here and draw maps myself.
Kids did that 100%.
They did that, but like, there's so many other games I got to play, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to get that.
Yeah, it's got to be the right kind of game and the right kind of spark to get you into it. One of my most treasured gaming experiences is when I played Fez for the first time, and I did not consult walkthroughs, and I still have it somewhere, like a piece of printer paper that I had worked out the alphabet in that game too, and a bunch of other puzzles and like notes and stuff. It was like one of the last times I just genuinely lived in a game and didn't get help. Like, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I still got some of that stuff myself. From like Myst and like old Resident Evil, Silent Hill stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I had some notes for Myst when I played it too, come to think of it.
You gotta have notes for some of that.
Yeah, you really do. It's either you live on a walkthrough for Myst, or you got to do some of it yourself. I jumped back and forth, I'll admit.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing: gaming, watching movies.
Lots of gaming going on all around.
The gamers.
Well, if you've enjoyed this, then I got good news for you. There's 312 more, and I got even more good news. There's more coming. So you should follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everywhere else. If you want to watch the video version, if you want to get the inside baseball version, you can follow us on YouTube. It's Big Trouble Media or Big Trouble Archive?
Big Trouble Media.
Media. Okay, cool. But yeah, otherwise it's Big Trouble Little Podcast pretty much everywhere. And not just that, but listen to Getting Some Color, and eventually we're going to have this game club thing that I don't remember if we came up with a name for. I know we argued about it, and then nothing came of it. So stand by.
I think we came up with one, and I think you were like, that's a fruity name or something like that.
I don't remember. Yeah. I'm hard to please. I'm a douchebag like that.
All right, guys. We will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for listening.